Hi guys, we're going to show you two common mistakes we see when folks do side-lying external rotations. It's a great exercise for the rotator cuff, awesome EMG for that posterior cuff, but unfortunately we sometimes see people do them incorrectly, and as a result they kind of light up the front of the shoulder. When you initially set this up, we always like to do this at about 30 degrees of abduction, so you'll see us put a towel or a half roller or a rolled up shirt in here just to make sure that elbow is off the side just a little bit. It's a little bit more of a friendlier position for the joint. I'm a big believer in making sure folks have some kind of head support as well here, just to make sure that we're in a good cervical spine neutral posture. What you see about this initial setup is it puts us in bad positions kind of in two different places. First off, when we kind of support our head up there, that right shoulder drops down right away. Okay, so when that shoulder kind of comes down on the hole, particularly an athlete who may be in more of an extension posture, we really shorten up that lat quite a bit. And if we're trying to get good, smooth external rotation through a shoulder, we want to make sure that that lat kind of relaxes because it's the internal rotator of the humerus. So one of the things that I first do with our athletes is I make sure that that shoulder blade isn't really low on the top side. So we talk about stacking the shoulder blades. So tuck that bottom side in and kind of just get to a neutral position where everything's even. So you should actually see a small amount of definition in the upper traps. It shouldn't feel like a shrugging pattern, okay? So that gets people to a little bit more of a neutral position where you could draw a straight line through the top of the scapula all the way down, okay? The second thing that we'll often see from being in that sideline position is that the scapula, just because of the effects of gravity, will actually anterior tilt, okay? We know that when you get into anterior tilt, it's going to close down that subacromial space and increase the likelihood that you impinge, but it's also going to put you in a position where our cuff is actually a little bit weaker. We know that a little bit of retraction and posterior tilt tends to strengthen that rotator cuff. So I'll actually go up and manually reposition some folks into a little bit of posterior tilt before they kind of go through this. So what you'll often see is that individuals, A, feel it in a much better spot, they feel it in that true posterior cuff, but B, they actually get a lot stronger. So be careful about rolling into anterior tilt or sitting in aggressive scapular depression just because that sideline position puts you there.